Hi guys, welcome to the channel, Tom and Harry, SMMA. Now in this video, we are going to talk, what is it you can say to get your first meeting booked? Well, I'm going to tell you what I would be saying that will dramatically change your chances of getting your first meeting by sensationally. Like, so if you're listening on Spotify, listening on the bus, on the train, watching us on YouTube, please stick around, because if you're struggling to get your first meeting, this is a game changer.
And that's
Harry,
step one.
yeah,
That's
Harry,
step
how
one.
you doing, mate? Let's just bring you into the conversation in a sec.
I'm good, mate. Like the booking a meeting is the first hurdle for an agency owner, I think. As soon
Yeah,
as you get the art of booking meetings down to a T, really, if you've got that presentation in order and you understand how to close, etc., that's almost the hardest part. Majority of people struggle to even do that. Majority of people can't even book a meeting with a qualified business owner. Yeah, they might get a 10-minute conversation with someone who owns a business, but not necessarily someone who can afford $1,000 a month. But once you get the strategy down where you can get people that can afford you on regular meetings every week, that is the step, that's the first hurdle you need to cover. So it's a really important video.
yeah, it is. And I feel for people, because we get DM'd a lot about people saying I'm struggling to even get my first booked appointment, and I do get it. I understand, and then I ask a few questions, and I understand also why they're
Yep.
not getting it. So let's talk about it really honestly and openly. Let's get into this, people, because we want to help you. Okay, just do us a favor. If you are listening to us, you do need to subscribe to our channel, and follow us on Spotify, etc., because we are giving huge amounts of free value, but that in return we do appreciate. So please hit the subscribe button. That'd be great. So what kind of advice can we give you to ensure you get that meeting booked? I'm going to tell you now. This is something that is verbally has to be said. Okay, so however, what I will say now, this actually does work over all types of outreach. So I don't want people commenting in the box and going, "Oh, I don't cold call," or it doesn't work when you cold call. I can tell you now, like, it works in anything you do. It's whether you're texting your clients, whether you're cold calling, whether you're dropping a DM, emailing, whatever. Half of the reason why people don't get that meeting booked is because they're skipping a stage. So they're actually trying to, and we see it all the time, people wanting to work with us in our business, be a VA for us. They just tell us what they do, how much it is, and do you want it? Do you want it? Buy, buy, buy. And I'm like, no, 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 because I don't know, I don't want to be sold immediately and from a stranger. That concept is no different to anything else. It's no different. What I'm trying to say in this and stressing this point is, when you are doing your outreach to a business, and I'm going to say any niche too. This is fucking any niche. This is dentists. This is landscapers. This is kitchen, blind fitters, whatever, life coaches, any business that you're working with. When you do your outreach, you cannot sell. For a start, you cannot sell to that person. Okay. You cannot, because you're skipping a stage. Effectively, you might actually be skipping two phases, because the whole idea of the call or the outreach, email, DM, whatever, is to get that appointment. But people are failing. It's just a fucking appointment. How are you not failing at getting this appointment? Well, the reason you are failing is because you're probably selling and coming on too needy and strong in your first initial approach. Okay. Imagine going up to a girl or a guy in a bar and being like, "Hey, will you be my girlfriend?"
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, without going on a date first.
without going on a date and without even actually talking to her and saying, like, at least trying to warm them up to the point where they trust you as a person. You wouldn't just go up to a guy or girl and be like, "Hey, I like you, and you're going to be my girlfriend, yeah, or
You
you're going to
wouldn't.
be my boyfriend." You'd be like, freak,
Yeah, you
go
would.
away. No different. So this is a business that we like. So we like this business, and we would like to get to know them more before we make a decision whether they're right for us, and whether they make a decision whether we are right for them.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you speak to your people and you're ringing them up or you're emailing them, just have that in mind, that actually this needs to work for you, dude, than it does for them.
Yeah.
Have that mindset. When you make that initial approach, you have to show, and in my view, this is the kicker. This is the piece of gold that does not exist on the internet until we drop this video. Okay, no one is talking about this, and no one will even know about this. But what you need to say is, you need to show an element that this client is of importance to you. You need to get to them to say that actually they stand out from lots of other businesses. They need to feel, you've got to make them feel special, even on the very first outreach. Okay, so how do you do that? Now, like Harry, me and you talk about it all the time.
We do.
What elements, like, you know probably what I'm about to say.
In terms of how to get people on that call.
Yeah.
I have a favorite one, but I also have ones that I see people do all the time. Someone messaged me yesterday saying, Harry, can you look over this script? What do you think of my offer to get people on a meeting? And what it was my usual offer is this. If you get on a meeting with me, I'm going to give you 50% off my price. And that was his offer. But that was, like you say, it's going immediately in with the transaction. People aren't thinking about the transaction. You don't actually want that client to be thinking about transacting with you. Whereas the way we go into it, and what I recommend, is offering them a completely free strategy session. Not as obvious as a completely free strategy session, but going in with it where you're offering them something of immediate value. So even if they get on a call with you, they still get something out of it. If they don't, even if they don't transact with you, you need to make their time worthwhile. That's my biggest thing. I would never get on a presentation or a meeting with anyone to just purchase, only to be sold. I just wouldn't. There has to be some upside for me to getting on that call and giving someone my time. There just has to be. So I make it absolutely abundantly clear to anyone who's going to get on a meeting with me that 90% of that conversation is going to be stuff that they can implement if they want to. Yeah. And we leave that open for them. We get, like we say, we give away our whole strategy. We give away, not necessarily our Facebook ad strategy, but we say, right, we're going to do traffic to this funnel, this style of funnel. We're going to do these email follow-ups. We're going to do this, this, and this. And if they wanted to, they could go implement it for themselves. Couldn't they? They could go off, get different advertisers to do it for half the price and just implement it from there. However, we don't care because we know they're not going to. And even if they do go with someone else, they're going to fail and come back to us anyway. So our offer, and people always ask us, what's the best SMMA offer? And the best offer to get someone on a meeting is to give them immediate upside, whatever that may be.
Completely agree with what Harry just said. So what Harry has just touched on, for those listening, is he has thrown in there an element of reassurance to the client that this is not as scary as they might think it is. Okay, so if you're listening to this, again, you need to understand that there are some key things you need to say when you do your outreach on email or whatever. They're as follows. Well, Harry's just covered one. So you need to make them understand that this is worth their time, and they will come away from it with an element of understanding and education. Okay, it's worthy of their time. The other thing that you need to put in your outreach is how long this meeting is going to be. Very, very important. If you're listening to this, write that down, please, because when you say you want to get them on a call and discuss strategy, they think it's an hour out of their day, which makes it very difficult for you to get that. If you tell someone, I just want 7 minutes of your time, 7 minutes, you can even time me. I promise you, let's do 7 minutes. It's fun. That makes it kind of a game. Yep. They're not going to time you. I've said that. I've said that well over 4,000 times. And just to put context to what I'm saying, by the way, guys, I probably should have said this at the beginning. I run a successful marketing company with Harry, and we do very, very well with it. But I am a former sales coach. Okay, I have coached people across the globe on how to sell and how to, even people who are not salespeople. They've never done sales in their entire life, and I've grown them into very, very accomplished salespeople over time. So that just kind of a bit of context to the picture here. Okay, but saying to someone, going back to it, saying to someone on your outreach, whether it's cold call, email, DM, whatever, how long that meeting is going to be, and have some fun with the time. You could put 7 minutes, 20 seconds. That's all I need from you. Very intriguing when someone says that. Look, Harry, all I want, I promise you, is I just want 7 minutes and 20 seconds just to show you what I can do, how I can bring to it, and what I can bring to the table.
Yeah,
very different. And the reason I'm asking you guys to say that, listen to this, is no one says that. Nobody ever says that. So you need to start doing things that people are not doing. Okay. Even just doing that in your outreach will dramatically change the outcome of where you're going to get that first meeting. That's one thing. Have that for free. Okay. The second point that you need to do in your outreach is you need to make them aware that this is no obligation and there's nothing to lose on their side and on your side. So say to them, look, there's no obligation to this meeting. If anything, if you come out with it with a better understanding of what marketing you may need in the future, that's great. That suits me, but no obligation, I promise you. And you really, at this point, you really have nothing to lose in the 7 minutes and 20 seconds that I want.
Yeah. I've got one final point, mate, and you're going to be able to put this into technical terms of what this actually means because you do it so well. Is when you're on a call, say very much like I'm going to say a name. We have a client called Cheryl, and you had not a sales. It was like a prior sales call to the meeting. It wasn't necessarily.
I love her. I absolutely. I love that woman. She's amazing.
And what you do so well is you'll find common ground with that particular person, even on cold calls. Like I've seen you when we were doing the live cold call training in the academy, you built common ground with that particular person that you then used to get the meeting. Yeah. For example, like resonating with kids, with marriage, speaking to them like a human rather than like Grant Cardone's sales guys. Like I fucking hate them videos where he's training salespeople, like the really aggressive to the point salespeople. I personally don't like that. I don't think that works.
There is a place for it, depending on it, but
I don't think that works for the type of business owners that we work with, at least.
No, it don't work with SMMA, I can tell you that now.
I don't think it does.
But Grant, if Grant's watching this, let's get on a plane and actually bat out that debate because I'd be more than happy to. But
what is that? What would you call that? And like
that's called assertive. It's assertive sales behavior. So
not necessarily Grant's style, that your style of like how you resonate with people, because that's not necessarily being assertive.
No, that's basically. But like finding common ground is rapport building and it's a trust building exercise. Let's say, for example,
you're kind of coming across as like a friend, aren't you?
Right. So let's say this sums it up. So like when you're what I try and do is make myself seem like the boy next door.
Yes.
Okay. So it's kind of like I've been referred to them by their nan. You know, like. When you're in a bar, right, or you're in a restaurant, or you're at a party, or I don't know, you're in the street, and you get introduced to someone, or you're out chatting at Starbucks, and then you somehow get talking about someone you both know, and they go, "Oh, isn't it a small world? Well, you know Harry too.
Yeah,
what small world it is." Well, it's not when you all live in the same town, right? It's not a small world; it's a fucking town. But they immediately get warm by you.
Yeah.
You know, like I went into a shop and I know the girl who works in the shop really, really well. And when I go in that shop and that girl's not working there, the staff members are kind of they're just a bit cold in my view. They sometimes can be a bit cold. And I think, gosh, like you must lose clients they've got a face like thunder, you know? I went in recently and saw this girl and she hadn't seen me for a long time. She's like, Tom, oh my God, where have you been? I haven't seen you, in front of the staff. And she came up, gave me a big hug. After that, the difference the staff had with me was remarkable. Yeah. Remarkable. They were like referring to me by my first name. They were like, "Oh, how do you know Steph?" Oh, it became like a different thing because they'd seen that I'm trustworthy. And I think that's the bit you're trying to say is like, yeah, in the call or your outreach. It's harder if it's on a cold email.
It is, yeah. And that's more for cold calling and like in the meeting.
Yeah, but you want to try and find some common ground. If you've got kids or, they're in the same, you've been to that place where you're calling, you can say, oh, I've actually been to Watford or I've been to Newcastle before. And, I went to a lovely hotel that was just on the front. Anything that makes you seem like a real genuine person is one thing.
Mate, I've even done it with the weather before. Like I'll get on a meeting and like I say, this isn't for the outreach to book a meeting, but in the meeting where it's like, fucking hell, I don't say fucking hell, but like the weather's shit, isn't it? Like something that you both have in common, even as simple as the weather. Like that, just speaking about something other than, can I have your money, please, for social media marketing, which seems to be most people's main objective of a call. Yeah, it's our objective, but it comes across so strong that if you just take 10 seconds to talk about the weather or I don't know, something, it just takes that edge off immediately and like, fuck, he is a real person.
Yeah, completely. And it's really, really essential. But I think looking at this in terms of what can I give you to get that first appointment? Just to summarize, right? You want to put in your outreach or in your cold call or whatever, make them understand how long this is going to be, okay, in the meeting that you want. You're not selling to them. We're not talking about sales now. We're not talking about pricing now, service now. No. That's for another time. That's for stage 2. Don't go from 1 to 3. You can't do that. That's like trying to hurdle over 3 hurdles instead of 1, okay? So make sure you put in there how long that meeting is going to be and have fun with it. 7 minutes and 19 seconds. That's all I need of your time. You'll get a very interesting response to that, where they'll be like, wow, this guy really is to the T on his timing. That's fine. And it's also not a lot of time for me to give. I've got 7 minutes, 19 seconds. Yeah, let's go for it. Boom. Right. Okay, that's one thing. Make them also aware that this is no obligation. If anything, you're going to come out with it with a better understanding for free of what I do. No problem at all. If you walk away with it, no problem. The other thing that's important, and this is the biggest thing, okay? And you can tell because I'm changing my body language. You can't see on Spotify, but I'm getting all excited. What you need to do, and this really does translate to email and cold calls. It works better on the cold calling. But you need to express the fact that this customer, this potential customer client, is emotionally different to you than anyone else. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, it's really worthwhile, and it's in your best interest, guys, listening to this, that you express your excitement about working and having this meeting. I want you to get to them I want them to feel like they are important to me. I've been looking forward to this all week to call you. And you can say that. You can even put that in your email. Like, you can start your email with, hi, John, I could not wait to push the go button on this email to send to you because it's really important that I actually reach out.
Yeah.
Imagine saying that in your first 7 to 10 words. Yeah. No one does that.
And that's even more impactful on a cold call.
Yeah. So say, if I bring up Harry and I'm like, Harry, like, hi, is that Harry? Yeah. Hi, Harry. Look, first of all, I just want to say that I am super excited about calling you today. It means a lot. And I'm going to get straight to the point because I know you're busy and I'm busy too. I've got your attention straight away because what I've shown to you is I'm like a puppy here. I am pumped. I'm ready. And you're going to fucking listen to me because I've waited all year to call you.
In comparison to, hi, Tom, my name's Harry. We run Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I see you aren't running any. Do you want to get on a meeting next week?
Exactly.
Like that opening compared to that.
Exactly. Chalk and cheese. Chalk and cheese. Now, and what I'm telling you guys, I'm not just saying it thinking, oh, it might work. I know it works. Like, I know it works. I cannot guarantee results on our marketing strategies, okay? Whether you're running Facebook ads, funnels, email marketing, SMS messaging, whatever. I never guarantee results. What I can guarantee is when I sales coach people that if they implement what I ask them to implement, they will, I can guarantee you, they will improve their outcome and their meeting booking conversions. So if you're listening to this, you think, oh, I wonder if it will work. No. It will work. Just do it the way I've asked you to do it, please.
Yeah.
So just to recap for all of you listening, put in a very odd time constraint of how long this meeting is going to be. Not today. On a day that suits them, it's going to be 6 minutes and 44 seconds. That's all I need of your time. If you're thinking, I know some people will be pissing me off in the comments and they'll be going, you can't do a presentation in 6 minutes and 44 seconds. That means I've got to rush it. No. You're never going to stick to it and you don't ever mention it again. If they mention it on the call and be like, well, I'm giving you 6 minutes, 44 seconds, you can say, yep, set the timer. That's fine. If they then hang up on you on 6 minutes, 44 seconds, sir, madam, you've not done your job properly.
Yeah.
They're senseless and they think you're a fucking cretin. So don't call them again. But honestly, if they then stick to that time and then shut you off, you've not added value to them. If you're adding value to them in the first 30 seconds, minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and they're seeing the benefit of what you're doing and how you're doing it, they will just want to keep you on the call for half an hour.
Yeah.
I tell you, trust me on it. So yeah, throw in a very odd time restraint so you can reassure them that this is not going to take half their fucking day. Make sure they understand that this is a no obligation task. Walk away from it with a better understanding. That's all. In this case, that's the only thing that matters to me, is that you come away with a better understanding of what we do. No obligation, and show excitement and emotion. Say to them, I've been looking forward to this. For me to hit the go button on this email has been a big deal. I really have been looking forward to sending this because I'm keen to speak with you for 6 minutes and 84 seconds about how I can dramatically improve your business with the marketing skills and strategies that I actually bring to the table.
Yeah.
When you're free. And that's the other thing. If you're sending emails that are 2 paragraphs long, bin them. If you're sending emails that are telling them what you do and how much it costs, bin it.
Yeah.
No, your outreach should be no more than 2 lines.
Even what services you offer, like that's outreach isn't the place for that. Unless you're on a cold call and they ask.
Yeah. Now your emails really should be about 2-3 lines long.
If you're being held by gunpoint to send them, like if you're not, then just don't do them.
Mate, exactly. Stick to that. So just one final recap: 7, like funny time restraint, no obligation, nothing to lose. They're going to get some value from the meeting, and show emotion and excitement. Make them feel special, that they're not one of 500 people you've called today. They're the only one, and they will be the only one. And I am really excited to have this meeting with you. Please don't let me down.
Yeah. Perfect way to end.
Do that. You'll 50x your rate. So you will, the whole video was about how do you get what to say to get that first meeting. You implement what I've just told you, you will have the worst headache ever, because you'll have about 40 meetings for the following week.
Yep. Well, good video, mate. If you've not watched our previous video was on how to close a 2K a month client. So that's a perfect kind of follow-up video to this one.
In the right way.
Yeah. And kind of what to look out for in terms of how to price it at 2K as well. So there's a bit of a pricing kind of strategy in there as well. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Please make sure you subscribe, continue to download our audio files on Spotify and Apple Music. And yeah, we'll see you in a couple of days' time.